live stream in horizontal aspect ratio. About 4 or 5 goes at it, and finally I've got it to work. Hello, welcome to Bahrain on what is a chilly night outside, and I did not expect that. Now I'm at the moment in a shopping centre. There's none of you here, so I'll just wait. Welcome along. You're the first person to join us. Thank you very much. Welcome to Bahrain, that's how you say it, on a coolish evening. Here's some people now. It was 21 today, but my gosh, it was blowing a gale out there. It was ugly. Visibility at one stage was down to a couple of kilometres. Not that pleasant at all. And Tuesday is going to be even worse, and then it sort of calms down a little bit as we get into the thick of things. But we have 3 days of testing, and I'm pretty pumped. I've got a video coming up shortly too about my trip from Perth to Bahrain. Got in last night late. Get this, the circuit organises transfers from the airport to our hotels. And I've got a BMW 7 Series. It was mega. You'll see that in the video. So thank you very much. A little bit of, not drama, just the standard. Customs want to go through all my camera gear and they ask a whole lot of questions, and then 10 minutes later they say thanks very much and off they go. Or off I go anyway, out into the general population. If you're American, I'm paying in this cafe here $12 US for that bottle. But it gives me somewhere to stream live from. Now what you'll see in the background here, there's Bono. I was going to say Lewis's engineer. It's not now, it's Kym Antonelli's. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of locals in their full garb, in the white outfits, and the women in their black outfits. And today I went for a walk through here. I'm not looking at your comments at the moment, apologies, because I'm just giving a couple of stories and I can't do 2 things at once. But I went for a walk in here and there was only 2 of us wearing shorts. I wear shorts a lot. I thought it was going to be hot, but it wasn't hot in here, and I don't think the locals wear shorts out in public, but it's not like it's outlawed. I think it's just frowned upon. If you just joined us, a very windy day, going to get windier on Tuesday, and a couple of teams have got track days out there, just filming days. Now, I've seen a lot of crews coming and going in this hotel here. Not sure if any of the drivers are staying here, but typically they'll stay at the true mega 5 stars. Well, in fact, no, most of the time they're out at the Sofitel near the track, purely because it's a 10-minute drive. 25 minutes to get to the track today, or maybe 30 minutes to get to the track from the city, 2 hours to get back. What a nightmare. I had no idea their traffic was so bad in the middle of the day. It was shocking. A super chat, by the way, gets you straight to the top of the list. I will go to some of your comments now. I've got my glasses on to read them. I have to look at the bottom half. But yeah, you'll find it interesting with the cavalcade of people behind. You might see some team members in their kit because they're all out there feverishly setting up. We can't go in until Tuesday night when Oscar Piastri does a press conference to talk about the upcoming Bahrain Grand Prix, which is 4 or 5 weeks away. And the reason I've got him is he's a McLaren driver. McLaren is the local team. McLaren is owned by the Bahrain pension fund, and as such they're using Oscar. Hello Kayla, I am excellent, well hydrated. It's pretty expensive here. The currency has got even stronger since the last time. It's one of the strongest currencies in the world. I think Kuwait is a bit stronger than it, but I get, it cost me $4 for a dinar. Last year it was 3.5. How's the weather? Cold and windy. When I say cold, it was 21 outside. In the afternoon, it's probably down to about 14 tonight, but with the wind factor, it's not pleasant at all. And today, and you'll see this on one of my upcoming videos, I went for a drive all around the back of the track, and there's just hundreds of oil wells, and those big poles with flames coming out the top. And in fact, when you fly in from, as I did, from Thailand, from Bangkok to here, at night, you see all these wells alight as you come in, and it's a phenomenal scene. But behind the track, it is really quite amazing. It's just dirt, and you're going to see the Tree of Life in my video, which is a tree in the middle of nowhere. But around it, look, I won't say anything about it. You watch my video and you tell me what you think. There's just a lot of sand, dirt. It's not really dirt, is it? It's sand, but rich in oil. Now, if you want to get your comment to the top of the list, make sure you click Super Chat. 455 of you wondering what's going to happen. Did you see... I keep threatening to go to your questions, then I think of something else. There was a story I read today about Jos Verstappen's dad threatening that Max might stop talking to the media if he's poorly done by. Well, I contacted Jos and I said, Jos, is that the case? And he said, no, that was a comment made about people booing Max. So it wasn't against any of the media. It was just the fact that he was booed at that function the other night, as was Christian, as were the FIA. I didn't actually hear Max being booed because I was prepping something for a video that went up straight after. And now, coming up tomorrow, I have my YouTube video about Drive to Survive, because tomorrow the promos start for it. So I'm timing my release. Hello, Adam Watling. Thank you. You're a supporter of the channel. I appreciate that. And the promo starts for Drive to Survive. And I thought I'll release my video at the same time because that gives it the greatest chance of being picked up and people running with it. But there's some stunning information in that video, and it's absolutely factual because I spoke to people who work on the show and they've given me some very interesting information. The story behind how it came about, I've never heard, but you're going to be thrilled. Adam says, looking forward to seeing your content. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it. If you're booed, so be it. Yep. Let's go back to some of your questions here. Super Chats get you to the top of the list. And we've had a lot of messages already in 7 minutes and 37 seconds. He said Max wouldn't go to those events in the future. Yes, that might well have been it. Well, it was misconstrued on some site that I saw today. G'day from Adelaide. Will you be at the Adelaide Motorsport Festival? No, I'm in Bahrain. When's the festival on? What else have I got here? You live near Silverstone. I'm jealous. LOL, that's obviously a comment about someone else's. Are all the drivers in yet? I know Jack Doohan's in. Look, I imagine... You know what? I've got the rego number of Max's new aircraft, and if you search that, you can actually see where he is in the world if he's actually travelling on that plane, because they have to file a flight plan. So that's... Well, you probably got it too. Maybe one of you can get on the flight radar if you've got his rego of his plane and see if he's on his way here. Hello, Austrian Alps Atomic 879. Do I think Doohan will be replaced? Doesn't matter what I think. His performance will determine whether he's there for the long term, and he'll be working his backside off to make sure that is the case. So this is where I am now. I'm in this shopping centre here in Bahrain, or Bahrain as the locals call it. This is a hotel here. This is the Westin. The other side here is the Meridian, and yeah, you'll see some F1 people toddling up and down behind me. You'll also see lots of locals as they go about their business. Do you see the FIA backing down from their swearing penalties? No, I don't. The Grand Prix Drivers Association now has Carlos on it, along with George, plus the tall guy, Austrian, German, and a female whose name eludes me at the moment, and I'm looking for a picture of her. And I'm also looking to get pictures of Laura Muller, who is the first female race engineer. Oh, PHUTL, yes, and his last one was PHDTF. And he said it wasn't. He didn't name it DTF because of what some of you might think. Kym, you are Kym salutes from work in Denver. I'm not sure what that means, but hello in Denver. Julio, you are a backer of mine. Thank you, or a supporter. Is 24 doable for? Yeah, I did 24 last year. It's easily doable. I don't like the triple headers. They're not much fun, especially when you've got very long legs. But this year I'll be getting a private jet. I'm going to do another private jet video. That was hugely popular. Maybe I can get a driver on the plane with us and might make for even more interesting content. Hello from Russia. I love Red Square. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Hello NC Roberts, you are a backer of the channel. Julio, here we go. A super chat. Here, get a drink on me. I can tell you, that will get me that much of a bottle of water. But thank you very much. That's at least paid for most of that. And look, I've still got quite a lot left. And by the way, if you're here in the Bahrain Mall and you want to come up and say hi, I'll be here for about another 45, 50 minutes. Things go well and I don't run out of battery. That's what happened last livey. I ran out of battery. A little embarrassing. Hello, NC Roberts from South Wales. Not New South Wales, because that is a state in Australia. India won against Pakistan. Where was that game played? Because typically they're not played in either of those two countries. Could be wrong, but there's a bit of bad blood between those two. Hello from Devon in England. What is the time? It is it's 8:10 in the evening here. And I arrived well early. I arrived 3 days before I had to be here, but I'm happy to do that. And I saved a lot of money on an airfare by going via Bangkok. I've got a video coming out which I think you'll enjoy. It was in Dubai. There you go. And Kohli hit 100. Virat Kohli. Should be revising for some exams tomorrow. Don't worry, Toby. Just wing it. If it's multiple choice, you've always got a chance, huh? Do I watch cricket? No. I'll have a Boxing Day test on in Australia just for kicks sometimes, but no, not interested. What can I tell you here? Hotels are expensive. No bargains here. Luckily I booked a long way out. Does the swearing ban also include inside the car? I don't think so. No, that's my understanding. Mind Mission is in Italy. I'll be going there twice this year. And I might even go out and spend a night at Maranello and do a video around there. The last one was hugely popular. Team Red Guts, always a regular. Now, where is Milton? Where is Terry? Who else is a regular? My Singapore man. And if you're a regular, but I don't see your name pop up, apologies. If you want to get your name to the top of the list. Oh, Albert Coe, hello. Malaysian, that's right. Yeah, Super Chat gets your name in big, bold colours, and I can't miss it. Ramadan. They're promoting Ramadan big time here. This city looks so much better at night, as does Jeddah, and that's how you pronounce it, Jeddah. And what about Qatar? Yeah, they all look much better at night, because during the day they're just yellow because of the sand blowing about. No, I better tell you what's happening in pre-season testing. Well, actually, there's a couple of testing days out. Oh, not testing, media days for teams where they can do. They hire the track and they do 200 kilometres. I think that's the maximum, isn't it? Yeah. Here's a couple of boys from one of the teams. They've been out at the track doing some work today. So testing involves. The actual testing is over 3 days, and they can do 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening or afternoon. So it's 10 to 2, and then an hour off, and then 3 to 7. And they run the cars. One driver will. They've only got one car, and the drivers split the driving. So each driver will get a day and a half if they don't have any problems with the car. Which team do you think will top testing? Williams. There you go. Do you think Dino Beganovic will drive some FP1s? I don't know. I think you would know more than me. Coming to Kenya Safari. Thank you. Yeah, I was there in December. It was lovely. We're going to build the city. Maybe we'll have F1 here too. Okay. Well, be nice. Everybody in Africa wants one now. They're all going crazy for it. Does F1 cover? No, I'm a freelancer. I pay for everything. Hello from Miami, says Rudy. Looking forward to my latest vlog to Bahrain, yeah. And tomorrow is my Drive to Survive video. It is an excellent video, some great information there. I can tell you there's a couple of episodes. Oh, and there's one interesting fact about the Singapore race. And you have to watch the video, but they've got vision from people not professionally recording. So there's some amateurs doing some video recording in that particular episode. I think that'll be very exciting. Now, do I have anybody here from Peru? Yes, I do. Choose69 is from Peru. And if you are here in the Bahrain Mall, is that what this is called? I think it is. It's a beautiful shopping centre too. It's stunning. Come and say hi. I'm in this cafe near the Western Hotel and we'll have a chat about F1. Which is the best livery of the teams? I liked VCarb. I thought it was the winner. I've been to Zimbabwe too. I had a lovely time at Mana Pools. One of the most amazing places. You can actually walk amongst elephants and lions. I was charged 4 times by a lion, 3 times by a male and 1 by a female, on foot. And you just got to stand still and the guide says, they'll stop, they'll stop. Well, they all stopped, thankfully, because I'm still here. Our guide, who's walking with us, does have a gun, so that's great, but the bullets are in his pocket. So he's got to take the bullets out and put them in the gun before he can take aim at a lion who's perhaps got their jaws around your neck. Says Gustav, a member for 9 months. Have you seen the Six Nations doc? I haven't. Is it any good? Should I invest time in it? I watched 2 great movies on the flight the other night, Awakening and Sight. Highly recommend them. So out at the track today, normally they have all the flags of every driver along the road into the main road into the track. There were no flags up today, and I wonder whether, because this is just testing and we don't have a race straight afterwards like we did last year, if they will not put those up. And I didn't see any real promotion around the city except one big billboard selling tickets for the race weekend, and it was a picture of the start of last year's race with Lando leading. And Lando and Oscar will be doing a bit of stuff for the owner here, which is the Bahrain Pension Fund, because they own McLaren, and I imagine they'll be doing extra work. How did you get started in Formula One? I applied with, here we go, here's some of the Mercedes crew there. Coming back in, yeah, I applied with the FIA, the Media Accreditation page, and got accredited. Hey, from Denmark. I think you mean Denmark. Is that Denmark, Western Australia, or Denmark, the country? Did you have a good ski holiday? Haven't had it yet. But there is so much snow in Japan at the moment. It's crazy. They had a world record, or well, a country-wide record of 1.24 metres in a day. That would be very hard to ski in if it wasn't perfectly groomed. No, F1 doesn't pay me. I'm a freelancer. Have you seen Valtteri Bottas? No, but I saw his helmet today. Did see it at reception. It was still in a Stillo bag, but it's here. Is it anything to look out for? And I'm not sure I'll see Valtteri wearing it because reserve drivers don't get a run here unless something happens to the main drivers. Now, we're up to 828 people. Great. And yet I've only got 194 likes. That's a huge mismatch. Please hit the like button, guys. Come on, I can get that to 400. Well, you can if you do the right thing. I can't press the like button. Have you got yourself any new gear for the season? No, well, I did my video. Yeah, well, yeah, I've got a couple of things. My 50mm f.95 lens I'm very excited about using. And you'll see some pictures too. Do you often photograph F2? No, there's no time. F2's on when I'm editing. Have I seen Lewis in red yet? No, and he wouldn't be staying at the Western or the Meridian. He would be Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons maybe. And there are plenty of great five-star hotels, and this place has gone up a lot in the last year. I see the Kempinski Hotel is looking magnificent. Are you excited about the new F1 movie? Yes, you might have seen my videos. They're great performers for me, and there's great interest in them. And I like the whole idea. I think it brings more people to the sport. Hopefully that helps me out. Gets you excited perhaps. Yeah, I know people are saying, why would you watch that when you can watch a race? Yeah. Well, anyway, let's have a look at it and see what we think. It's premiering around the Austrian race. Can you host a competition for someone to come and shoot? No, you can't give away media passes. I don't have any. I get accredited. I can go and shoot. I can't take anyone in there. You've got to get accredited. That's your job. I don't think F1 would be too happy if I started offering stuff that I don't own as prizes. How many countries have you been to? A lot. There's no number on it. Are there any flights you're looking forward to? Yeah, I'm going Singapore Airlines, the suites. If you don't know about this product, it is the best first class in the world, bar none, unless you're taking some elaborate private jet. It's stunning. And if you get the two cabins, it's almost like a whole, probably 20 square metre apartment in the sky. Am I going to try the Lufthansa suite? I've got the Allegris business class on one leg, and I purposely booked that flight too because it is a brand new business class cabin. The last two flights I went on, Thai and Gulf, and I compare them in my video, which will go to air probably Wednesday this week. And you have to wait and see which one I prefer. You need to get a picture of Hugo, an F3 driver. He's the tallest driver. Thank you for the tip on that. F3. When are they first racing? They won't be racing in Australia, will they? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong. I was once wrong I think I was wrong in about 84. I made a mistake. Do you have a favourite spot to shoot at this particular track? No, I don't love shooting from here. Well, actually, I did. There was a spot up around the back of the track where you shoot between the Armco and you get these lovely, what are those, pine trees, or what are they called? Lovely trees in the background. But they go and bugger it up and put signage there. Although I might be lucky because with testing, sometimes they don't put signage up. Now, here's a super chat. Any plans to come to India? None whatsoever. If you don't have a race, I will not be there, but I appreciate your support. And if you do want to get your questions seen and answered, here we go, here's a couple more. Guys from Mercedes who've been at the track all day. Have you... I lost my train of thought. From what you have heard so far, who do I think has the fastest car? I don't know. I don't know anything about the cars, guys. Ask me about people. Cars I'm hopeless with. No, I wasn't there when Grosjean had his crash because that was 2020 and Australians weren't allowed to travel. And F1 didn't have... Well, they had some photographers, but it was the smallest number possible, so we were all barred from going there. Although, if it was late in the year, was that race late in the year? If it was, the last three races we could go to, but it was pointless going for three races. Which driver or team do you have the best contact with? Look, I probably know. I probably get on. I know people in most of the teams, and I would get on well with at least half the drivers, and the other half I would imagine know what I do. Says Troy Lewis, I'm as ancient as you, Kym. What do you think of the footballification of F1, social media-wise? That's the way it's going. There never used to be any social media people working for teams, and now they are super, super important. And don't ever discount how important what you're doing is now. For me, for the sport, it's instant. I can broadcast to the world. I couldn't do that 20 years ago. And it's quite remarkable that, because I never thought that I would get into this. It was just that my son suggested one thing, and then a year later he suggested another, and then it's just grown and grown, and we just get more and more adventurous. And this year you're going to notice a huge bump up. It's going to be massive because we want to get to 2 million YouTube followers. I'm not interested in 1 million. 2 million is my number. Says Cameron, big fan. Do you have any tips on getting media accreditation? Go to their website, have a look, see if you fit the criteria. But if you want to be an F1 photographer, I think pretty much you have to live in Britain or Europe. If you're living you're almost buggered living in Australia. It's just so expensive and probably no one's going to see you. But look, it's not impossible. I did it. Do you think Verstappen will go to Aston Martin? I don't know. I'll chat with a few people at the track this week. Well, really, it's 3 days, and it's going to be absolutely action-packed. There will be no time for mucking around. There will be a lot of editing. There will be a lot of stories coming out, a lot of YouTube videos for you. And I can't wait to see if Angela Cullen's with Lewis. I think she will be. It's going to be a very big story, and people say, oh, what does it matter? I don't know. But it was my biggest ever post, that picture of Angela and Lewis, and it was bigger by more than double, maybe even, no, it wasn't triple, it was 2.5 times bigger than my previous best post, if you discount the one a couple of days prior to that, which was something to do with Lewis as well, but that was an outlier. But Angela Cullen is huge. She's bigger than half of the drivers in terms of popularity. So don't go saying, oh, you're fixated with her. I'm a marketing person, and if you want to look at it, and it does me a lot of good to have, I don't know, it reached 4.4 million people, that picture, and it wasn't even a real picture, it was just a doctored Photoshop shot that Nicole's did. So thank you, Nicole, she got me my biggest ever picture. As I said before, I'm a marketing guy. I'm going to give you exactly what I think you want. When I get it wrong, I don't do that again. I often put up pictures of stuff that I think, oh, they're going to love this. And I go, what happened? Waste of time. So live and learn. Hello, Kim from the lovely Kempinski Hotel in Engelberg, Switzerland. Highly recommend coming here for the skiing on Mount Titlis. Yeah, skiing in Japan is a quarter of the price of skiing in the US. And at the moment, the snow is impeccable. Kim, how's the camera? We dialing it in from NS, Nova Scotia, is that? Canada? Which camera are you talking about? This is with my phone. But my R1s are going well. And do I think Checo will be back? Oh, I'll just read the same articles as you do. Stephen, let's have a look. Stephen Hoffman says, just saw your ski video from 2024. Yeah, I did this video about last year's ski trip to Niseko, and I never put the bloody thing up. And one of the guys said, should we put this up for the members? And I said, yeah, put it up for the members. So thank you to my members who are going on and having a look at that. And if you're not a member of the channel, nothing's stopping you becoming a member. You get a whole lot of extra videos that the general public don't see. It's not that it's adult content or anything, it's just stuff that I keep for people. I'm just having a look here. There's some Mercedes people who might go behind me in a second here. Yeah, no, they're going out that way. Do you do any driver phone numbers? Do you any? Do I have any? Yes, I have a few. And ipso facto, they've got a few of mine. Apart from F1, what other sport activity would you photograph? Olympics might be fun, although the security's a nightmare. I would have liked to have shot that thing the other night in London, but I had a fella there shooting for me and sending me back images, and it was great because I got shots within seconds of them being taken, and I got to experience what my editors experience when I send stuff back to them in Australia or in England when I'm doing stuff here. The reason I'm looking around here is that people are coming and going here, F1 people, and it's quite interesting. Am I doing a meet and greet? No time for a meet and greet here. I don't think I've got that many fans. So some places it's not worth doing. Lewis or Charles this championship? Why don't you have a look at my predictions video? I detail where I think all 20 will finish. And a couple of you are very upset. It makes me laugh because people go, oh, I can't believe you hate Lewis. I can't believe you hate someone. I don't hate anyone. I'm just picking out what I think might be the end order. And of course, no one's ever going to get it right. No one is going to get 20 right. but it just makes me laugh, and I fire people up by just telling people what I think, and sometimes I just put in a long shot because I think, oh well, let's have a bit of fun. Gord Koppel is a backer of the channel. Thank you. Kim, you visit Africa for safaris after the F1 season. Would you be interested in trying an Indian safari? I've done it. Is it Bandar National Park? It was bloody hot and the food was atrocious. We ended up just having rice, and they try and say, oh, have this dish. No, just give us rice with soy sauce for 4 days. But we did see some nice stuff. Before you leave this live stream video, have the bartender say, well, it's not a bar, it's a cafe, and they're over there, and they don't come down this end very often, but look, if I do see someone, I'll get it done. Oh, last night at the airport, they picked us up, well, they dropped us to the hotel in BMW 7 Series cars. Fantastic. And I have a Ford Raptor. Have you seen a Ford Raptor? It's a monster pickup truck, or a ute as we call them in Australia, and it was fantastic today. I was out around the back of the track, and I mentioned earlier on, but I'll say it again. And by the way, could you please hit the like button if you haven't done so? The like button, it's got a big thumbs up. So over the back of the track is just oil wells, sand, a refinery or a petrol processing facility where you can smell the fuel, the oil. It was not pungent, but you could smell it in the air. And I've never seen anything like it. It blew me away. And there's piping, just hundreds and hundreds of miles of piping along the dirt. It just sits on top of the dirt and goes over roads and underneath roads. And it's really fascinating, and you'll see a bit of that in my upcoming video, probably the day one Bahrain testing video. Yes, 150 Raptors are very popular here in the US. Beautiful, aggressive looking trucks. Expensive too. I thought that was a reasonably inexpensive truck model, but I have actually gone on a Ford out at that facility near the track, the four-wheel drive facility, and it's fantastic what those cars can do. I've got an FJ Cruiser, but I don't put it through anything like the paces that those guys did. Let's have a look. If you have time when you do the UK GP, try and stop in at Oxford. No time. I get in there on a Wednesday afternoon, and I am 4 days at the track, and I leave Monday morning. And the worst one for me this year is Japan. It's quite a hike to get there, and it's a standalone race. So I get in on the Wednesday afternoon, early afternoon in Osaka. I catch the bullet train to Nagoya, then I get the local train to Shiroko Station, and then I go by foot to our media hotel, which is this quirky little place with very small rooms and three-quarter, not a single bed, but not a double, it's sort of three-quarter size. And then we leave on the Monday morning. No, in fact, I catch a train back after the race to Osaka Station to catch a morning flight back to Perth. So it's quite a busy time. Congrats on the win. Pakistan keeps on disappointing. Okay, India beat Pakistan. That's huge because there's two very large countries and they love their cricket and it means a lot to them. Played in Dubai. I haven't got my visa, Albert. And I know a good friend of mine is really having troubles. JJ Garcia, thank you for that. And I'll tell you a bit quickly how this works. To go to the Chinese Grand Prix, you need to be invited by the government. We put our names up. Well, FIA says if you want to go and get a visa, put your name down. So we fill this form out, we send it back to them. They send it off to the Shanghai office. The Shanghai promoter then sends you some documents. Fill in these documents. And I sent back all my documents the other day, 20 pages, 20. It's an absolute minefield. And then we are waiting on a letter from the Shanghai Foreign Affairs Office, which has to come to the place that you elect to pick up your visa. So I elected Perth. And of course, I'm not in Perth and I'm not going back to Perth before the Chinese Grand Prix. But they did agree to take my application and passport, because I have two passports, and both Australian. So there's one of them sitting at the Chinese embassy waiting for this letter from the Shanghai Foreign Affairs Office to arrive. Now, a friend of mine who's South African, but he travels quite a lot, he didn't get his on Friday when he left to come here, or Saturday he left. So now he has to try and get it in Christchurch. But when I asked, if I could get mine in Melbourne, because I'll be in Melbourne for the required number of days, because they need your passport for 4 days, and they're going to have mine for longer. They said, no, you have to have it done in your home city. So it's a real nightmare. I think I'll get it, but it won't be until next week I get approval. Now, somebody had a super chat here. Do you have any spots to get autographs here? What, from drivers? No, you need to be over in the paddock. At entry or exit from the paddock. That's the only place I think you'd find them. Let's have a look. Let's go. JJ Garcia. He's in Qatar. We'll be at pre-season testing on Thursday. Now, if you bought a 3-day ticket, you actually get in for nothing. Just for Thursday and Friday, not for Wednesday. There's no fans on Wednesday. Do they sell team merch? I'm also the chief marshal on the start line for the Qatar GP. I don't know whether there is merch. I'd be surprised, given it's just 3 days of testing. I could be wrong. I think they've done a bit of stuff for the fans behind the main grandstand, though. I'll know more, because we can't go into the track until Wednesday. They're quite, well, not true. Tuesday night, there is a press conference with Oscar Piastri, welcoming, or just explaining, what's he going to do? It's to launch the race, which is in 4 or 5 weeks' time here. So that's my first opportunity to go into the track. But we have to be very careful because we can't shoot anything on track. There'll still be an hour of on-track stuff when we're there. If any of the teams are doing those private things, but testing starts on Thursday. Let's have a look. Do you book all your flights and hotels to start? Yeah, not all of them. Hotels, yeah. And a lot of flights, yes. And I can give you an example, and it comes up in this video. My business class flight from Perth to here was $3,800. And I booked it 6 months ago. 2 weeks ago, it was $4,800, $4,900. And I reckon a couple of days prior, that would have been $5,900. So you do save money by going early. Hello, Myanmar person. Not many fans in Myanmar, so nice to have you on board. I love the fact that you found your niche as a content creator, and that happens to be everything non-car related. Yeah, I don't know anything about cars. Drive to Survive are locked. Yeah, well, a lot of people say that Drive to Survive and my stuff is what they have long wanted but not been able to get. Because realistically, if you're a good photographer, you want to be taking the great car shots because they can be epic. But I take some great ones, but I don't take reliably great photos as, say, Clive Mason or Florent Gooden or the like does. There'd be some team boys just walk behind me. Austin meet and greet, planned, but just got to make sure I haven't got anything conflicting. This year is a lot busier year for me. And thank you to Mod Soul, celebrating your 3rd Super on a live stream. Round of applause. And we're at 974 people. That's about double what I normally get. So there's a great deal of excitement about what's going on here for this 3 days of testing. Now, I think we've got Haas launching tomorrow or the 5th, one of those days, and they'll be doing it out at the track, I understand. Have you seen any teams, or all the Mercedes team are staying here, and might even be another one as well, but they tend to spread themselves around. For those of you joining us, this is $12 at a cafe in Bahrain. This is quite expensive here, but there's no tipping, there's no tax on top. That's the price you pay, and I love it. And by the way, in a hotel here like this one, and most of the good ones, valet parking is free. They don't see it as an opportunity to further gouge their patrons. Super Chat gets your comment to the top of the list, guys. Thank you for your questions. There are more than I can answer. Is Mercedes on track tomorrow? I don't know. I probably should know, but I can't go out there and shoot them, so it doesn't really matter to me. We have to stay right away. I did go out there today and just got some pics of the entry. And I did a bit of stuff for an upcoming video that you will see. How was the weather? Cold. Cold tonight. It's 21 degrees today, but the wind was horrible. As I said earlier, sometimes it got down to about 2 kilometres visibility, but just awful wind. And when you see my video for testing day one, when I put some of this stuff in from out there, you'll get a real feel for just how yucky it was. It wasn't nice. Some of the questions being asked are answered in some of Kym's other videos. Thank you, Nathan. You guys probably get to see all the questions, and I can only see a few of them. But interesting outfits, local outfits, which you're probably seeing in the background. And I mentioned earlier, but I came for a wander here through in shorts and t-shirts earlier today. And there was only one other guy I saw in shorts, because it's, I think it's frowned upon. And by the way, if you're a Rolex lover, there's a Rolex store up here which would have easily 40 watches for sale, including some, not stainless steel, but other amazing watches, sports watches that you just don't see anywhere in the world. It's quite remarkable. Travelling alone, or is your son? No, I'm doing this one on my own. My son's gone to Japan with my wife and my other son and his girlfriend and my wife's sister for a skiing trip, and I'm catching up with them afterwards. So maybe I'll do a video about skiing in Japan again. But I've just done one. Well, I did one last year, and I just forgot I had it. And one of the guys said, "You haven't posted that video." I said, "Right, put it up there for VIP members." So if you're a VIP member of my channel, you can head over and see that free of charge. And if you're not, you can become one by clicking some buttons. What's this? Will Liam be good for Max? I looked at that and I thought, is that Will I Am or is that Williams? Have you made a mistake? But now I understand it. I don't know if it'd be good for Max. I do know that he doesn't dye his hair. I saw something today about that. Audio's a bit wobbly. First comment about that. Not much I can do about it, I'm afraid. I'm using public Wi-Fi here. And there's not many... Oh, by the way, it's 9:15, and these shops don't shut until midnight, I think. They love shopping at night here. They're much more advanced than us in Australia, where we close everything at 5. Staying passionate from San Diego, California. Yeah, I've been there. Audio is fine. Thank you very much. For the woman in the paddock, is it comfortable for them to work in countries? Yeah, they're fine. Absolutely fine. Although I can tell you that some of the girls that work on security, when they go to Jeddah, find that the men can be very rude and not abusive, but they will not talk to women on the gate. They don't take instructions from them. They don't put up with anything from the women. But the girls that I know or the women that I know that work on those gates certainly don't back down. And interestingly, at those races, they have a higher number at those races. Well, particularly Saudi, they have a higher number of Austrian security people and gate people than they would normally, because that's the company that does that is it CAMS? Yeah, out of Austria. They can't have locals on the gate because a high-profile person will come in and they will just bully that person into letting them in. But they can't bully the CAM staff because they don't care who they are. Do you know who I am? I don't care who you are. You're not coming in here. And I quite love that about them. And yeah, full marks to the women in particular that stand up to that sort of poor form. That's what I'd say. Anyway, I was going to take you for a walk around the shopping centre, but I'm not confident that I can connect to the shopping centre's Wi-Fi, and it'll end up dropping out and that won't be happy. What am I drinking? I'm drinking this fine beverage here, 0% alcohol. You can get alcohol here, no problem at all. It's the most liberal of the Arab states that we race in, and not that far from Saudi Arabia. In fact, I drove last year out to the causeway that goes across, and a lot of the Saudis come here for their holidays because it is a bit more liberal. Have I been to Israel? Yes, many years ago. It was fascinating. I went to all the places to have a look, but I remember getting on the flight and the LL staff interview every person, and they are very good at their questioning, and they wanted to know how I could afford to just go at the last minute, and why didn't I book a long way ahead, and why aren't I on a tour? And they were just peppering you with questions, and it's all designed to make sure you're not going to do any mischief. No, it's not my merchandise. I wish it was. This is Pangaea. I'm also having a bugger of a time with my bucket hats. I'm interested in anyone that might be interested in designing them. We've had a few goes, but I'm just not happy with it. So there will just be a bit longer than new 2025 bucket hat than I would have liked. If you are a designer who's brilliant and you want to have a crack at something on spec, and if it's any good we pay you, you can email me, Kym@KymIllman.com. And it's almost 5 a.m. on the east coast of Australia. What time do you get to the track and when you leave? Thank you, Valters. You are a backer. For this, I'll probably get there at about 6:30 or 7 on Wednesday, and probably leave at 9 or 10. A little bit later the next day. Later arriving, same time leaving. Who's your favourite driver? I never say. No good can come of that. I won't be focusing on any team, David, I promise you that. McLaren got a new principal. What? Team principal? How did that happen today? Please, I'm interested to hear more about that. Normally that comes up in my social media feed or I get press releases, but no, I haven't heard that. Paddock has the best food. Mexico, phenomenal catering. And they've got about 30 staff looking after us, which is the complete opposite of Monaco, where they just plonk some shit. No, not even shit, it's just ham and cheese croissants or chocolate, a pan of chocolate, whatever it is, in a box. And if you don't get them within 10 minutes, they're gone. How's the food in Bahrain? Good. They have a proper cooked meal and buffet stuff. It's really good. I just searched it. IndyCar, not F1, bro. William miss Checo. No, I didn't really have much to do with Checo, but I think he might be back next year. Stephen Hoffman, member for 34 months, a VIP. Stephen, you can watch my video about, what the hell was it? Skiing. And I also put another one up today, a jet skiing video where I went up the coast about 30 kilometres on a jet ski. And I think you'll like it, especially if you like sea lions, because there's some lovely vision there. And they get very close to us, and they're lovely. Predictions. I've made a video. Go and have a look at it, where I think every team will finish, where I think every driver will finish. Andre Stella is McLaren F1 principal. I think they mean Indy. Oh, okay. Just don't know. All I know is that Pato drives from. What, if any, will DR be doing? Nothing. He will not be involved in Formula One as a driver, for sure. And I can't see him. I could be wrong. I don't think he'll be back to F1. Who's my favourite F1 creator? I don't watch much. You'd have to throw some names up. I don't watch much. I like Ted Kravitz in terms of his stuff on telly. Ted and I get on very well. And also his mate, whose name Craig Slater, a funny guy. Get on very well with him. He's good. I just saw that one, loved it. It says, Stephen, good on you. Have I ever been on a hot lap with a driver? Not an F1 driver. I've been on a hot lap last year. Did two, actually. I did one in a Ford, which was phenomenal, with an American driver at COTA. And I also did one in a Porsche at Austria. And that was amazing. It just, I've done a bit of rally driving, but I never drive anything like that. They are so crazy on the brakes. That's where it just blows your head in. It blows your mind away. 970 of you still on board here. Thank you for that. Cold weather. Well, cold by Bahrain standards, not cold by Scottish standards. Probably the same sort of wind as Scottish or Australia. I live in Llansillen, which is a coastal town, and we have some savage winds during January and December. How good was the Aussies against England? I've not watched anything about the cricket. Most beautiful airport? Oh, Singapore's right up there, as is Zurich. Singapore, though. Singapore is special. It's so much better than most of the American airports. In fact, I can't think of a great American airport, and certainly better than most of the European ones. Would you bet on any driver changes this year? No, but I would like to have a bet on Oscar to win the Aussie GP and Kimi Antonelli to win one of the first 3 races. Very good value bets on the second one. I get some pretty good odds on that. But that would be a fairy tale story for both of those results. Meet and greet in Saudi? Probably not. It's too hard for me to get to any area where fans are, and I don't have that much of a following there. Best turn to photograph at Bahrain. One and the one at the end of the straight that goes past the grandstands and then turns left and goes out the back. There's lots of lovely lights on the trees, so there's some nice shots there. It's not a great track for photography, unfortunately. Thank you to those people who are on here, 980 of you. And look, 628 have hit the like button, so that's not a bad result. Could do with a few more, and I'll thank you in advance for doing that if you have a moment. I do love doing these because I don't have to do any preparation. I just come straight in, blind, fire away. No MotoGP for Kym. He's fully only able to do F1. Yeah, I did apply once for a race, but never got a response. So never mind. And it has to be at the... it has to be at the right time. I have to be somewhere near a race and have an off weekend off, and that's rare. I do have an off weekend after Miami, so I'm going to the IndyCar race. See a few of my IndyCar driver friends. Have a chat with a few of them and watch them perform. Do I like to be on a motorcycle? No, I can't be bothered with motorcycles. I like jet skis now. That's a great thing. I did actually have an Aprilia motorcycle, a scooter thing, which was nice. And then I had a couple on the Gold Coast when I used to go over there, and I had some houses there. And one day I thought, I'm going to see how fast I can do this cul-de-sac on it, like it was cobblestones, shiny cobblestones. So I'm going to lean down and do a turn. Well, I came off and looked like a right idiot. And, just got up and looked around and thought, thankfully no one saw that. We lost Will Buxton to IndyCar. IndyCar's gain. Looking forward to resubscribing to Sky Sports soon. Why? Why are you going to resubscribe? Oh, because he's gone. Is that? No, he didn't work for Sky. Why are you resubscribing? Tell me more. How many racing will Jace Bishop? Jace is J-A-Y-C-E. Jace will be doing at least 14 because he wants to keep his permanent pass for next year. Oh, did I miss the super chat here? Stephen Hoffman, you have to do a video how you pre-book your flights. I did one. It was a very good video at the start of this year. It's the logistics behind it. I only use points really for... No, that's not true. I got a points flight with Singapore Airlines on the suites, which was phenomenal because that is the very best in the world. And I use my points to go first class with Qantas because the price of that fare one way, 17,000 Aussie, which is 11 US, is just ridiculous. But that's really the only time I use points. Occasionally I'll upgrade with Emirates if I've got a few points, but that's not that often. If you happen to be in the Bahrain Mall and you want to come and say hi, do so. Down here near the Western, and it's early days, still only 9 p.m. Does keeping up with the F1 season, travelling and such take its toll? No. If I had to do it economy and I couldn't sleep, I think that would be really tough. And I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have that interest in F1 to have to do it that hard. So I'm happy to work a lot harder and just pay the extra money. Hello, Romanian person. Now, Bitdefender is from Romania. Yes, they are a sponsor of Ferrari and a very good company. They do our VPNs and a whole lot of other stuff. Very technical, but yeah, they're on the car this year, and they're on the car. Yes, they're on the suits as well. Yeah, and I was amazed to find out they were from Romania. Kym only does budget airlines if that is the only direct flight. Yes, yes. And I always worry that they're going to ping me for my camera gear in my think tank bag. And you know what? For the first time out of Perth, I got asked to weigh my camera bag this trip on Thai Airways. I've never asked for that. And what you're sometimes better off doing is, if you're travelling as a pair, get someone to hold your bag out of the way, and then they don't think you've got one, they don't weigh it. It was fine, I got through, but there's always that element, oh no, it's too heavy, you got to do something with it. Hi from Las Vegas, Steve, the skateboard guy. Hello Steve, my sons love skateboarding. One of them lost his front tooth to a skateboard accident. Hello to Dr. Holiday. What watch have I got on? I've got this one, and I can wear this in this country because I could leave this on the counter here and it should be fine. But some races I would not take a good watch. So thank you for your question, Dr. Holiday. Hi, Mark from the UK. How are you? Oh, you're Mark, right, not me. And yes, I follow you. Thank you very much, Mark Biggin. If you don't mind me asking, how do you make money doing this? I never stop working. I've got about 8 income streams. If you ever look at kymillman.com, that'll give you a pretty good idea. But the trick is, don't stop working. Can't do this by selling photos. You've got to be a clever marketer. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hello. Anybody here on the stream from Bahrain? Happy punter there. Any Bahrainis here? I'm interested to see your name pop up. If it is you, hello from Ethiopia. I've been to your country. I went there for a stopover on a flight going to Chad. Phenomenal place, Chad. You might be the only person who grew up watching F1. What, in Ethiopia? Right. You have those beautiful monkeys. Is it in the north of your country? I nearly went there when I was doing my F1, not my F1, my wildlife book. I'm trying to get this. Oh, come on. Says acquired target. Did I miss yours before? Is there a minimum number of races you can go to and still keep your press accreditation? Yes. The number is 14. And I'll give you an idea of how this whole thing works. Is your first year, when you get accredited by F1, you're accredited race by race, which means you apply for the races that you want to go to. And if you want to go for every race, you apply for every race. And you get told 4 weeks out if you've got accreditation. And typically, if like a race like Barcelona or Monaco are often oversubscribed, and some people run the risk of not getting accredited for those races. But once you've done a minimum of 14 in your first season, you then get invited to have a permanent pass, which means that pass is yours. You don't have to apply. You can go to all of the races or none of the races because you've got that permanent pass hanging around your neck. And I could say last year I was the only Australian to hold a permanent pass, but not the case this year because Jace has one. Although he's only doing 14 races and I'm doing them all. So I can say that I am the only Australian permanently accredited F1 photographer doing all races. So that's my clarification of that. Back to your questions. Do you have an F1 fantasy team? No. Just 4 weeks. That's brutal. Yep. Nice to see you today from Pasco, Florida. Love my work. I'm glad you love it. I just do it and I just hope that people see it. Albert, one of my regulars, congrats to Jace for getting the permanent. Yeah, he ended up doing 18 races. There's some noisy kid here. Anyway, you know you're in an outdoor environment or outside my hotel room. And I do love the way these guys dress. It's very, very smooth. They all look immaculate, especially the white long outfits. You hardly see any creases in them. They're beautifully presented. Have I ever heard rumours of a possible GP at Dominican Republic? Nope, you're the first person. Is it hard to get permanent accreditation? No. If you get 14 races under your belt, you get it automatically. It's getting race by race accreditation. That's hard. You have to go to the FIA website and look at the media page to see if you qualify. And very few do. And I get 10 a week, people saying, oh, could I be your intern? That's not a thing. There's no such thing as an intern. And I just can't go and invite anyone to the track. FIA has to invite you. They have to accredit you. So it's nothing to do with me. If you could drive any current F1, if you could drive any of the current F1 teams, drive them. Who would you drive? I've drive 4. Oh, the McLaren. I don't know why. That's the idea that came into my head. Love Scotland. Just came back from Scotland. Can't wait to go back there. Did you go in winter? Because that shows some resilience, I understand. Not that I've ever been there. Fans don't want more races in Yankee Doodle Land. Is there a talk of more? Who knows? I hope they don't go to 25 races. That would be tough. Will you ever get to Copenhagen? No, I don't do holidays very well. I wish we talked to some of these ladies, and I'm always interested in the letterbox outfits. I've had a chat with a couple of them and photographed a couple of them, and this is funny, it was one of the Middle East races. I took a photo of a woman in her outfit, and I had a chat with her first, and she was fine with it. And when I put her in Women of the Paddock, I had 2 dramatically different responses. I had, well done, that's great, showing the locals. And then I had, oh, what are you putting them up there for? And they're all oppressed and stuff. And, or did you have their permission? Or you shouldn't take her photo. And I think the second lot are just ignorant people because they weren't there. They didn't know what transpired. But anyway, that's social media, and everyone gets a chance to have their say. Is Lance Stroll the most exciting driver in the paddock? Well, I'd have to go to your comments about that. But my gut feel is probably not the most exciting. No, not number 1. I'll go out on a limb there and say I don't think he's number 1. Someone is there in Bahrain. Read above. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm going back. How long ago was it? Someone's from Naples in Florida. I think I know. Anybody is here from Bahrain? Kym needs you to go from Bahrain. Oh, I lost it. My apologies. There are so many comments. I think this is probably the most we've had. No, I did a live stream after the Australian Grand Prix was shut down with COVID. That was huge. I'm selling bucket hats, yes, Chris, but we just can't work out the design. It's gone a little longer than I'd like, but your patience will be rewarded, I promise you. How much photography stuff do you bring to a race? I did a video on that, and I urge you to go and have a look at that on my YouTube channel, Time and Talk. Hello, Kym, says Chris. It's the Bahrain flag. What is? I'll give you a quick look around here, right? So this is the Western Hotel's foyer. This over here is the breakfast restaurant behind me for the Western. And this over here is the shopping centre, which is lovely, a lovely spot. Anybody is here from Bahrain? Kym needs you guys from Bahrain, yeah. Kym, the Bahrain guys above. How far above? How can I? Oh yeah, I've been to Bahrain. No. What do you need to know? Oh, Time and Talk. What does Bahrain as a country and the people of Bahrain think of the Grand Prix? Are they excited by it, like say the Italians, or is it just a little? Oh, we're going to have a look at that and see what it's all about. Because that track is about 30 minutes from the city and there's nothing around it. It's just in the middle of dirt. Although stuff is going up around it, and in time I'm sure it will be developed. Who do you think is the favourite to win this Drivers' Championship? Well, you just go to the betting sites and they know the favourite because they have money to lose and win on it. Max will reportedly boycott the UK, rumours. No, he just won't go to functions if he thinks he's going to be booed, according to his dad. I had a chat with his dad tonight, and he may consider that. And I'd be the same too. What's the point of rolling up to these things if you're just going to be booed and disrespected? Well, he's got to make that decision. And if he doesn't want to go, he might just pay the fine. Would you? I've already bought a thobe. Bought one last year with my son. Go and have a look at my video. It was quite a funny video. I didn't bring it this time. Betting sites say Norris. Yeah, I think you're spot on, sir, madam, whoever it was. I've lost your comment. Opinions on Jack being excluded from the AusGP promotions. I did not know that. They go on with Oscar, have they, exclusively? That's an interesting thing for my video. Thank you for that. You know, you're in the Middle East when you see those guys walk past with those headdresses on. Very classy outfits. It's like they're all going out in formal wear. Not too many jeans and t-shirts in this joint. They put Oscar, Max and Charles. Rightio, fair enough. Max being booed for being so down to earth. I'm a Lewis fan, by the way. Who are you collaborating with? Well, no plans yet. No plans. I'm looking for some people a lot bigger in their audience than mine, so I can get some sort of rub out of it. Because I am very keen to grow exponentially this year, and we're doing a whole lot of stuff. A lot of reels, a lot of shorts, stuff that we've never really focused on before. 939 of you, and we're nearly up to 801 likes. If you haven't liked it, could you please just press that button? That'd be most appreciated. And over here's a couple of prayer rooms I've just noted. Something we don't see in Australia. Well, you see, that's not true. At some shopping centres, there's now a push for that sort of thing. Smash the like button. Hit it with your knuckle. Lewis' downfall is going to be wild. Well, three things. He's going to drop dramatically, he's going to stay where we probably thought, or he's going to go absolutely bunter. They're the options. One of the three. Gunter's pod would be awesome, would it? Do you normally turn up to races a week in advance? No, and I'm not turning up to this one a week. I got here last night late, primarily because of it was better value to do it. And it's good to be here this far in advance because there's stuff that I will get content-wise that no one else will get because I'm here early. And I've already had chats with a whole lot of people today and learned quite a little bit of stuff. So it's good. You get some good inside knowledge which will come in handy. What else can I tell you about? Who do I think's going to win the constructors? I did a video about that, Paula. Go and have a look. And now Berlin. Hello, Kym. Kym with an I. I often get Kym with an I. Thank you very much. I can tell you that your $20 US gets me one and a third bottles of that in this country. It is not cheap. Two ladies behind you are looking your camera. Get them, Kym. Oh, I just missed them, did I? Well spotted, guys. Thought about V10 engines back to F1. I don't want them. I reckon they're too loud. I remember them from Adelaide and standing in the Monaco tunnel with those things going through. Very uncomfortable. It's okay with the current ones, and I certainly wear ear protection, but no, I don't think we need it. Greetings from Cape Town. Haven't you thrown your hat in the ring for a race? Don't you want one over there? Did I think so? Yeah, I think so. What time is it here? It is 11 minutes after the hour of 9 p.m. And still people out here shopping till midnight tonight. And some very nice shops. Thank you, George, for the pat on the back. Best places to stay in Sao Paulo for the race. Palazzo Tangara, best hotel in the world, but you won't get a room. Could be wrong, but if you got a room, I'd be amazed. You would have quite some pull to get a room there. Much dollars in spy photos? I don't even know what spy photographers charge. I imagine it's okay, but not the stuff I want to be doing. I also was asked to, there's another job in Formula One that is, I imagine, reasonably well paying. I could be wrong. Photography wise, you stand at one spot during every race, and I think it's just during the race, and you just take photos of the tyres of every car, and you cable it up. You take a photo and you ping it straight back to the team that's paying you. So they get every lap, they see photos of tyres, and they go, and it's high res, and the picture gets there within a second, and it's just the engineers or the people back in the home base looking at the tyre degradation. And if there's a fire over there, they can't take a photo of that. If there's something happening around the corner there, they can't take a photo of that. Just tyres. Not my idea, but if you want to be in F1, that is a job that is there. Kym naps during his plane flights. Oh no, I sleep all right. I had, although this was pretty good, these flights, because they were effectively daytime flights. I still had a few hours. But last night, went to bed about 1, got up at 6:30, absolutely fine now. And okay, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to run a lap of the Spa circuit. Can it be done at my age? I'll come back to that in a sec. Jack's current hyperfixation. Best places to stay in Sao Paulo for the race. The Palazzo is unfortunately unavailable. I've only ever stayed there. And what other place? The Hyatt. Didn't love it. Yeah, that's the only two places I've stayed. But you want to stay somewhere good, because the city has some bad areas, I'm told. Not that I've ever stayed in one. So anyway, my idea is that I run Spa. Now, as you know, that's 7 kilometres long, and it's got a whopping great hill in it. So today, I started the video about me running Spa, and I went up to the gym, and I ran, what was it? Actually, I'll see what you think. At 63, nearly 64, having not run in a long time, and having spent 8 weeks at home in Perth, pretty much just eating, what do you reckon? How many kilometres did I do, and in what time? Answers below, please. How many kilometres for my first run for the video, on a treadmill, flat, I didn't have it going up or down, just flat, just as a starter. Rightio, back to your comments. I met your son in Melbourne 2 years ago, switched on kid, yeah. He's pushing hard this year, since we've got to get to 2 million YouTube followers. 10k, 10 would have been amazing. No, not 10. 4, wasn't 4, Jim. Every time I've been to Spa, it's rained. It's a bloody wet joint. You're not wrong there. 22 kilometres. No, you're miles off, mate. Miles off. Do you want to have a chat? She was funny. Every time I've been to Spa, yes, not 2Ks. Okay, F1 Santa, I'll stop you there. Yes, 3Ks, but in 22 minutes and 38 seconds. I thought, look, if I can run a K, that's a start, because I just want to build it up. But I could have done more. I got bored. So tomorrow, I'm back down there, and I'm there as much as I can be, because I want to get, I'll start running too in Australia, and I'll do one. I'll see how far I can run at different tracks. Which one of the photographs of the drivers is the weirdest? And you didn't like it, but praised by everyone around, says it's awesome. Nothing comes to mind. I've got lots of photos that I tag as funny, and I'm very careful about using them, because you don't want to piss drivers off, because they're pretty important to you, because that's, people want photos of drivers. Yeah, there's some funny shots with crazy faces and that sort of stuff. You just get them at the wrong moment. The hoodie is very nice. It's a Pangaea. Some of you fashion people know it. It's very nice, very comfortable. What aeroplane did you fly to Bahrain? I flew 2, and you'll see in my video coming up shortly. I do a review. Thai versus Gulf business. Yeah, it's a good video. Should run 12 minutes. Never been to a GP. If I wanted to go to one race, which one would you recommend? I'll tell you what I like. I love Monaco for the photography. I like Budapest for the atmosphere, for the racing. Vegas had a lot of overtakes. Yeah, go to my race by race guide at kymillman.com. I don't know whether any of you realise, but I'm on kymillman.com. There is a race by race guide, and I put in stuff like where you can meet a driver, bits about the track itself and the event. It's not completely all-encompassing, but it's a good start. And there's also a driver profile for every driver, although we're a bit light on for some of the new boys, but that will be fleshed out as the year goes on. No, F1 doesn't pay anything for me. I'm just accredited by them. I don't work for them. I'm a freelancer. Where's the best spots to watch testing from? See, once again, I have no access to your areas, and you have no access to mine. I don't know. It's testing, really. I guess you can probably move around. There's not going to be that many people there. Thank you, Tom, for watching instead of studying. Hopefully I don't aid to your delinquency. Acquired Target is a VIP member. Now you can go and have a look at those two videos I mentioned, my jet ski video and my skiing video. Budapest will only be my third GP to attend. Looking forward to it, says Adam. It's a good one. It's always hot. My son actually went with his mates last year. I don't think he did the race. No, he didn't do the race, but he was there, and he and I crossed over for a day, and it had been 40 plus degrees, and they were staying in a place with no air conditioning. No thank you very much. Not a starter for that. How can you obtain a membership? There is a button that's called subscribe. Click on that. Some countries, though, don't do it, and sometimes you have to do it on a laptop, not on your phone, so I understand. I actually like testing better than the race. Well, you do get them on track for 8 hours a day, and there is a pit lane walk for people who take corporate packages. These kids are having a race back here. It was funny because their mum saw me walking around with this apparatus that I use to vlog on. She said, "Are you an influencer?" I said, "I guess I am, yes." "Oh, can I have a photo for my kids?" So I got a photo with those two kids. They don't know anything about me. But anyway, it was funny. Could you tell us about your experience during the Targa West Rally? I did a number of them. I won it one year in a section with my 911 where you're limited to 130 k's an hour. You don't have to have a roll cage, but it's a fun way of getting out on the roads without having to go the whole hog and get a rally car with roll cage and stuff. Yeah, I did all right in that, and then I bought a proper car, an Evo 9, and did a number of Targa events interstate. Nearly killed myself once, but I've got bored of that, and I now do this. And this is equally as expensive. Best wishes from Minnesota. I've been to Minneapolis. Looked very cold, I remember it. My kids were only a year old and it was minus 30 or something. A lot of people are asking about Will Buxton. Is he moving to IndyCar? Yeah, he's going. He's already working for him, isn't he? Yes, definitely going. Really enjoy your content and wishing you a great 25 season. Thank you. Any tips for Budapest? Go and have a look at my race by race guide. These kids are enthusiastic. Yeah, at kymillman.com, there's some tips for you, and it's free of charge. Who was the first F1 driver you ever spoke to? I would have said hello to someone. Early days. I can't remember. Nothing stands out as a conversation. Have I ever been invited to an F1 driver's house? I've been in an F1 driver's house, yes. Daniel Ricciardo's, but he wasn't there. Budapest, I have to agree. Good. Try sim racing, much safer. Yeah, I don't like that. I've had a crack at that a couple of times. Best F1 memory. That's too all-encompassing, Harry. Best. When I ask that question of people, that's a hard question to answer. I'll perhaps rephrase the question and say, what comes to mind first when I ask about that? And best F1 moment. What comes to mind first? My lovely picture of Hockenheim with Daniel Ricciardo coming onto the grid, which you can buy at KymIllman.com. So many things went right, and I didn't realise how good a photo it was until it was posted on Daniel's page, and it went berserk. Kym, your thoughts on drone photography? Yeah, I've had several drones. They're pretty handy things. But you can't use them at Formula One. Could you talk about your visions on F1 making decisions just for marketing? No. It's a business. This is a business. It's all a business. It's entertainment. Sport is entertainment. Oh, he should have a drive. It's not fair that that person doesn't get a drive. He deserves to have a drive. It's a business. Have I ever interviewed Kimi Antonelli? No, not interviewed him, but we chat. Not lengthy chats, but he's a lovely kid. Really joyful. That's what I see at the moment. And I think they all start off joyful and excited and full of energy, and then the pressure week after week and the same demands placed on them, and they tend to become perhaps a little jaded, guarded, less interested in the stuff that perhaps they thought was great when they first got into the sport, and that's understandable. Like if you get asked for a selfie 10 times this weekend, you think that's amazing if you don't ever get asked. But if you're getting 20,000 a week, you're probably not that excited, and I understand that. I'd never buy cameras from B&H, J1 F1, because I wouldn't have them covered under my Canon CPS membership in Australia. You have to buy them in Australia to get their coverage, and it's worth being a CPS member. Thank you to those people who've been with me for 82 minutes. And your super chat, by the way, gets your comment seen. Why am I there this early? Well, I normally get here, especially for pre-season testing, I get here at least a day and a half early, but flights just worked out good value. And so I'm here. Your travel schedule is demanding. Do you live with it or thrive on it? I thrive on it. And quite frankly, I eat better when I'm away from home than I eat at home. I just tend to go to the fridge every hour because I get bored at home. When I'm here, I don't have anything in the fridge. I have my 2 or 3 meals a day, and I don't pig out. And I'm normally doing something too, whereas at home, it's work, but it's work in my house every time. Will you be on Drive to Survive? I don't know, but if you didn't hear earlier, tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Is it 24th? Yeah, tomorrow I release my Drive to Survive, what you can expect, and I have some stunning information in there. You'll want to watch this video, and then when you watch the video, you're going to want to watch Drive to Survive for 3 or 4 of these things that I talk about. And I also tell you how the series came about, and I had no idea what had preceded Netflix getting the gig. So you want to be across that as well. I was thrilled when my man told me this information. Have you heard from Danny Rick? How is he? No, and I gather he's fine. Have I ever been involved in any of the F1 film? No. I got told to move out of a shot once. Daniel was my favourite Aussie driver, says George. I've seen your name in here, George. You're a regular. I'm trying to warm up to the Wizard of Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I'll tell you who we need in F1, and we'd love. Pato O'Ward. I was just watching a doco today on some social media, and he is amazing with the fans, absolutely amazing. He's really spot on. How good will Liam be? You won't know till first race. Some F1 boys behind us. What? Oh, two of them have shorts on. Get out. Two of them got shorts on. So that's 4 in shorts I've seen today. Can you do a sign print collab with Max? Well, as soon as he says yes, we're in. Liam is very good, way better than Sergio. Well, I don't think it's too long for us to find out if that's the case. There's a Shake Shack here too, if you like burgers, and they're pretty bloody good. I went out to the track today, as I mentioned earlier on. We can't get access. Our media passes await us on Tuesday, and then there is a press conference on Tuesday night, which I'll be going to with Oscar Piastri. But that's the only real F1 pictures that we can get prior to Wednesday. Now, Wednesday morning is going to be a hell of a rush because they won't allow us into the media centre till 8, but the drivers arrive before 8. It's going to be a bit interesting. We might have to leave our camera kit out in the paddock, take our cameras and shoot, and wait for them to get out on track at 10:30, and then come back in and set up and edit. Have I had any nice cheese in Bahrain? No, I had some nice cheese on one of the flights last night, which you will see in my upcoming YouTube video, Thai versus Gulf, business class reviews. Do you care about who's the fastest? I think it's interesting. What I want is the same person not to win every week. When Lewis was winning, I didn't want Lewis to win. Now Max is winning, I don't want Max to win. And when Lando starts winning every race, I won't want him to win. I want an underdog to be up there, the unusual result, the surprise. That works well for me. Any new video series planned? Yeah, lots. Oh, sorry. No. I don't think anyone else is doing something, but that does remind me about this Drive to Survive video which goes up tomorrow, because you will learn what preceded Netflix getting the nod, and it blew me away. I had no idea that this had gone on, and we could have been seeing something completely different. That's all I'll say at the moment. What livery are you most looking forward? V-carb. And I want to see how dark that red is on the Ferrari. I don't know whether it is darker or not. Hello. A couple of girls interested in this camera. What's he doing? What's he doing? Black's very popular here. Black clothing for the ladies. They love it. What have I got here? Does ESPN have the broadcasting rights for 2025? Look, you're probably talking about Netflix is having a crack at that. I think they've got it for 2025, but I think a pivotal point has passed where they had to make a decision on something and they didn't. So maybe Netflix, Netflix want it. But there is a bit of drama because Netflix is a world platform and they can't take the rights and beam it worldwide. They'd have to say, well, right, you can't have it in Germany and Britain because you've got your own broadcasters. But for the US, I believe they're keen. Whether or not they've got enough money, who knows? Are you part of F1 movie? Don't know. I'm not part of it. I might sneak into a shot. Once again, if you watch my recent video about the the F1 movie, I'll give you some sort of idea where I think I might pop up. City Centre Mall in Bahrain is great. But have you checked out the Avenues Mall? Is that the one near the Sheraton? It's a cool place opposite the Four Seasons. I don't know where that is, but there's one next to the Sheraton. Is that it? I've been over there once, a lot of high-end stuff. I just walk around and get disappointed because I can't find anything I want. Not that I need anything, I pretty much bring everything I need. Guys, click like. Let's pass 1,000 likes. Julio, I think that's a very good idea. I only need 12 people. There's a gentleman here looking very, very suave in his thobe and his white, no, his red and white thing. Could you please hit the like button, people? Let's get it to 1,000. Bugger it, let's get it to 1,100. We certainly stand out here. There are not many places that I go to where I look around and go, oh, I'm the odd one out. Look at that, we got to 1,028. I think we're not far away from 1,100. Just 20, 30 seconds away from 1,100. And you're probably seeing a few of the Mercedes people come and go here. They are staying in this hotel. Your son has mobility issues. Would it be a problem to be an F1 photographer? Yeah, I think nearly impossible. I don't know how you go in, what's that race? Spa. There's only stairs up to the media centre. And you couldn't even get around the track in Saudi. It'd be impossible because we've got two legs and sometimes we have to squeeze through gaps. In Japan, the same thing, Spider Alley. You get that much gap and some of them, even for me, are almost impossible. Not impossible that you could have a result for your child, but I think it would be tough, really tough. I'm not sure it'd be the right pursuit. But don't be dissuaded by me. A lot of people said I'd never get accredited for Formula One. And I proved them wrong, which is always nice. Hello from South Africa, not South Australia. How's my new beauty lens working out? Keen to give it a run, Paul? It's tricky. You've got to have people standing still. It's too hard to shoot them moving because it's a manual focus lens. But it's f.95 and it's a stunning, stunning lens. Great at low light. Do I have a relationship with Jack Doohan? Yeah, we're lovers. Jack and I get on very well. Had dinner a couple of times with him last year. Funny guy. Says what he thinks. I love that. Yep. It reminds me a bit of Shane Warne because I sponsored Shane Warne for 5 years with my company, and Shane would come to a number of functions that I would have for my clients, and he was always amazing. But I used to think, you're telling me a lot of stuff that luckily I didn't blab. And Jack's pretty honest as well. He's a funny man. I'm well. Eric, with a C. Any chance of going to the 24-hour Le Mans this year? No. I don't even know when it's on, but I doubt I would have my travels planned. So. But I will go anywhere for an interview with Brad Pitt, and I'm hanging out for that. My name's on a list. My interest has been noted. Do I support the Eagles? I sponsored them for 22 years. That was a thing that got me noticed with my business. Now, I want you to have a look at this gentleman's outfit there. That's a beautiful outfit. He looks very swish. Very, very swish. Hats off to them. They dress well here. Reminds me of women in Korea. When they go out to get the milk from the shops, makeup, 5-star outfits, handbags, the whole lot. They go out dressed to the nines. They're the complete opposite of us Australians. We go to the shops to get milk. Yeah, especially if you live in a country town like I do, where you don't even need shoes on. You look out of place all dressed up, go to the shops. My son is not here for testing. He's in Japan for skiing. He didn't love last year here. Yes, Brad Pitt does own a music studio. He does. I can tell you that he saw a picture that my son took of him in Silverstone this year, and he said, that picture's been photoshopped. I don't have a pair of sunglasses with red arms. And somebody asked me, Brad said to a friend of mine, who's also a friend of Brad's, ask him if he photoshopped that, but it wasn't photoshopped. I have no time or any abilities in Photoshop. So yeah, he just didn't realise he owned a pair of sunnies with red arms. Yeah. Interesting whether Brad producing some music bands. What are your thoughts on the likelihood of V10s? I mentioned that earlier. I don't have any interest in that. I don't want it. Too noisy. How's Zandvoort to shoot? Good. It's a really good place. Although the hotel I stayed at last year, the NH Collection, is so brilliantly placed right at the entrance to the track, and it's priced as if it's located inside the track. It's just a crazy price. So I've decided not to stay there this year. I'm going to stay and drive 7 kilometres, and I'm going to save the price of a small car. Do I have many places to go in Bahrain? No, I don't. And that's why I'm doing this extended live stream, because I've got nothing else to do. And if you want your comment to be noticed, get on to Super Chat. And please like this thing. Tell you what I've done recently is my son said, right, we have to do in certain videos an early plea to subscribe. So we thought, right, we'll do it in the first 18 seconds. And the first time we did it, because normally we get maybe 500, normally we get 500 odd subscribers on a video. First time, 3,000. Second time, 2,800. So we're going to be doing a lot more of that. Not overkill it, but they're just very quick. But getting to people early absolutely works. And I kick myself because I should have been doing this 5 years ago. I'd be a lot further progressed. Anyway, you live and learn, and if we'd never tried it, we would still be just going along as we were. Kym needs a Bahrain residence here. Any in here? Oh, just interested to hear their feedback on what it's like. And that's why I don't do a meet and greet here, because there's no one to come and I'd be wasting my time. Have I discovered Jeddah when you're there? Have you discovered Jeddah? Oh, you know what? When they had that bombing there, was that the first year? On the next morning, because it's an evening race, I went out there first thing in the morning and had a look out there, and it reminded me a bit of the area around the track in Bahrain. It's just sand and lots of oil stuff. And I went out there and had a look at it. Most of it had stopped burning by then, but that was a huge story. And it was never, I didn't feel threatened at all. I spoke to enough people, I said, don't worry, it's no big deal. I know the drivers stuck around until all hours discussing what they would do, and essentially I was told that, yeah, you can leave if you want, but it's not going to look very good for you, and it might not be very nice leaving. I don't know. Hope the weather cools down for the first race. Looks hot as hell currently. Where? In Melbourne? Was it stinking hot? Because it's not hot here. Today was cold. I had the heating on in the car in Bahrain. Go figure. It was amazing. Now, somebody said, what's the worst? Something. Let's have a look. What's the worst country to rent a car in? Worst car I've ever had has been in Abu Dhabi. Look, these places, the Middle East countries are tough because you fill in all your forms, typically, unless you're doing through F42, which is a whole lot better, which is people that do a lot of the stuff for Formula 1. You fill in all your forms on rentalcars.com, and then you get to the place, and they take the information off the computer, and then they go and manually input it into their system. And you're standing there. It should be something that's easy and quick, but it's not. But what are you going to do, huh? How do you find desert safari tours in Bahrain? I haven't found one. I've never done one. Probably not the right person for that. Let's get Kym to 500k. I'll be at 500. I'm aiming to be at 7. That's my goal. So 500 hopefully comes mid-year, and then we just rocket ahead in the second half. So thank you for your enthusiasm and urging others to subscribe. Now, I imagine some of you watching this aren't subscribed. Or does this only go out to subscribers? I don't know. I'm keen to find out if any of you are not subscribers and yet you're watching this. And if you are an unsubscriber, a non-believer, could you please just hit that subscribe button? It makes no difference to your life, but you'll get more of my content served up to you in a more timely fashion. And you'll get the note tomorrow, hopefully, that my Drive to Survive video's gone up, because I know that the promo's going to air for Drive to Survive, so I'm going to piggyback on the success of that. So the moment that goes up, bang, my video goes up, and I just ride that wave of interest. And last year's video was a huge video for me, and this year's is so much better because of the information in it. You will be you'll be amazed at two or three or four things that come up in that video. It's I'm excited to watch the series. And no, I won't tell you anymore. Make you watch the video. Thank you, Commander Chief. Said the dollar here is a 6-by-1 now, so any super chat is a fortune. Where are you? What country are you in? I watch on my TV when I'm not subscribed and picked you up. Thank you. Do you have any tips on getting into Formula One photography? Just have a look at the FIA Media Accreditation page, get noticed, work out if you fit the criteria. I don't think F1 needs another photographer. I think they need another great photographer, but more so perhaps more photographers that know how to market. That's what I think. But don't listen to me. I'm going to be at testing in the paddock with Red Bull. Killing it, Moonlight Guidance. Nice. As a believer, my interest is also find Orthodox Church in Bahrain. Not much good to you there. Thank you, Gendrick Tromp. You're not related to the Tromps in WA, are you? I know a lovely Tromp. Jake Tromp, good footballer for the Pirates. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. How did you become an F1 photographer? I decided I wanted to do it and I applied via the media accreditation page. And here we are in my 8th season. 40 degrees in Rio. Any chance the GP moves to Toronto in Canada? No, I don't know. Got no idea. You should be sponsored by a rental company. I did a sponsorship deal with F42 last year. It was good because I just get my cars. I'd roll up. You wouldn't have to sign anything. You just pick the keys up. And it was just fantastic. And I do not like having to stand at any rental car counter. There's no joy in that. Hello from Sweden. How long do you think you'll still be doing this? At the moment I get the shits with it, I'll be out. Promise you that. Can I bring my Canon 1-5 into the grandstands? I have no idea. I don't make the rules. Have a look on the back of your ticket. Love WA wine. They make a lot of it. Yeah, I'm not much of a wine drinker, as you may know. Although I did take photos of all the wines on both of the flights yesterday for my YouTube video. Because my son said, you have to do more on wine. I said, well, I got no idea. Well, just talk about it. Just at least mention what's on board. Am I going to every race in 2025? Yes, maybe China's the only one because I'm in doubt with a visa. I'll be hanging out. It's touch and go. Sam Napier says, are you able to cover all your expenses for your role? Yeah, it's a standalone business. It's, yeah, it is. It has to be. What cameras do you use for the photos? I did a whole video search. Go and have a look at my video. It was January, wasn't it? My photographic kit. Kym. Oh, I'm Kym. You're John, and you're from rainy Oxfordshire, or Oxfordshire. Which one is it? Is it Silverstone or is it Silverstone? The battle rages. Where are you currently? I'm in the Bahrain Mall. Look at this. This is where I am, and if you are in the Western Hotel, you will be having breakfast here at the Fern, which is okay. Out there is the shopping centre, and across the road is a very daggy looking, I don't even know, it's not a mall, it's like a strip shops. Not strippers, but curtains and all sorts of stuff. It's nothing by day, this city, where I am. It's just lots of dirt around me and buildings going up thick and fast, admittedly. But at night, there's some beautiful lighting on the buildings. Although, the traffic today, I'll tell you, it took 30 minutes to get to the track from here, and it took 2 hours to get back. Admittedly, I went slightly the wrong way, but it was just chock-a-block at 2:45 in the afternoon. That's peak hour. Why is your visa for China denied? Not denied, it's just taking forever, and you have to do, I had to send them 20 pages of information, and I'm waiting on a letter from the Foreign Office in Shanghai. I should get it, but until I've got it, I haven't got it. What do I think about Barcelona leaving? Can't wait. Don't like the track at all. Love the city, don't like the track. Nothing redeeming about it, and it's been just shot for years and years and years. Do they offer some alcohol? Yeah, alcohol is freely available in this place. Not so in Jeddah, where you don't even get alcohol on the planes going to and from Jeddah. That's a no-go. Which track has the worst facilities? Well, probably Monaco. The media centre's a shocker. The paddock's awful. It's so condensed. But everything else about the look of the joint is amazing on camera. Which Grand Prix do you wish would come back to the calendar? Hockenheim. How would you fix Monaco? Redesign the whole city, make the track wider, longer, extend into France a bit more, or perhaps go the other way? It's never going to happen, is it? Do I ever photograph F2? I might have. No, not only if I've got an assignment. Like if some drivers say, oh, we want these pictures, or some sponsor wants stuff, I'll go out and do it. But it's always on when we're editing or when I'm doing important stuff in the paddock. Who do I think will become the champion? I did a whole video on that, Ronald. Go and have a look. Went up about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It's been one of my best videos. It's crazy. People love to get angry at if I don't say the right thing, if I don't talk about their driver in glowing terms, some of them get pissed off. Too bad. I've been watching you and your channel for a few years now. Breath of fresh air. Cheers to you. Drinking the legendary Perrier. $12 for that. Anyway, I've had 106 minutes on here talking to you people. What luggage brands do you use? Think Tank for my camera kit and Samsonite. I only have one suitcase. That's the Oyster. Always used it. It's light. I don't see the point in getting a suitcase that's 8 kilograms when you've only got 32 kilograms of luggage allowance. You're better off getting something like that one, which is 4. It puts you ahead. What are the odds we see you in the car instead of Stroll this season? I think very long odds. That's not going to happen. I think I'd be outside of that 107% rule. Remember that one? If you were more than 107% of the time of the pole sitter, you couldn't start. Kym, what have you ever lost? Your camera equipment. I did a video recently where I talked about stuff I lost, and it was most of it I got back, admittedly, and all of it was my fault. I've only ever had one thing stolen. Who will be the new Logan Sargent? I'm catching up with Logan in Miami. Yeah, and I can't wait. He's such a lovely guy. And yeah, we're going to have a chat. Might go-kart racing and do a video. Yeah, but yeah, you've got to think someone will be, do you? I don't know. It's just such a shocking thing to see these young kids come in with all these high hopes, and then somebody has to finish last and appear to be worse than everyone else. Or maybe that's not the case. Maybe just the cars go down in order and everyone's a great driver but just in a shit car. Who knows? Most humble driver, Valtteri. Oh, Oscar, very quiet, Oscar. Lovely guy. Yeah, I'd say those two come to mind. If I ran through the list of 20, I might find some more there too. Hello from India. Good to have you on board. Best crash you've photographed. Oh, look, I've hardly got... Well, Joe's crash, that was amazing to watch because he just kept coming to us closer and closer and closer, and I just kept my finger on the shutter. Yuki's crash was all right last year. Yeah, and I remember Stroll spinning in front of me after the chicane in... was that Hungary? Yeah, because that was like a slow motion thing, and he just kept going past me, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I also remember when, was it Latifi or was it No, it was Latifi that made the wrong turn in Japan, and he ended up just facing me, just pulled his car up right in front of me, facing me. You can see me on the coverage from inside the car, and it just blew us away. Because in the past, And in fact, we could have been walking across the track when that happened. We're allowed to walk across that section of the track because cars shouldn't be there. And neither should have he been there. Hello from Seattle, Brian. I was in Seattle for 3 hours last year on my way to Qatar. Do I ever talk to Max or Lewis? Yeah, rarely. Yeah, rarely, because they're in a hurry. Which driver who doesn't have a seat this year do you think deserves? I don't think anyone deserves a seat. I think they have to get a seat. No one deserves anything. And I don't know a great deal about how good drivers are. I'm not an analyzer of their form. Remember the laptop you would have lost if the driver didn't get it back to you? Yes, that was in Brazil, but she'd driven me around for a couple of other times over the weekend, so I knew her, and I would have got out of the car and rung her and said, "Oh my God, I've left that in your car," and I wouldn't have realised it until I went through security, and then my heart would have sunk. My heart would have sunk. Thankfully, it didn't get that far. What are my predictions for testing? That they're not trying. They're not trying to set fast times. It's not like a accurate indication of how fast they're going to be. They'll all be doing their own little programs. It's so funny following you and now and then seeing you walk by in the live broadcasts. Yeah, I don't know when I'm on those broadcasts, obviously. But good that you see me. Yeah. We don't pay any attention to them because there's so many of them too. Although a couple of times I've realised that I've been standing right behind someone who's live and they're like, oh, I better get my ass out of here. And sometimes the camera guys start waving their hands about. Is Williams on the podium this year? Yes, there will be an incident where the top 3 drivers will be wiped out, and that will open up the door for the back markers to cover themselves in glory. Sauber has the most ugly paint on the track, but we do hope that Bortoletto does something beautiful this season. I think that's what you mean. Yeah, I can't wait to see Gabriel at the track. Not had much to do with him, but nice guy. Which F1 track do you recommend to visit for the first time? Monaco. Have you ever been to Hockenheim? Yeah, I went to the race. Got my best ever picture there. It was one of the greatest races I've ever shot because I was at the last turn and it was all happening, one after the other. So many events. Every race should be that thrilling. Look at that. Nearly 2 hours we've been here, guys. Nearly 2 hours. I think I should probably head up. Let's give it 6.2 minutes and then that'll be enough. Which team principal are you closest with? Toto. But Laurent Mekies is always smiley and happy. Brian J.I., is it worth it for a US fan to come to testing in Bahrain? I wouldn't. I prefer Coda. Yeah, look, I think this is a great opportunity because it's such a long day. You get to move around. It's not busy. It's cheap. It's almost giving it away. Yeah, I like it. Any cheeky bet on for the 25 season? No. No, I did think about having a couple of $1,000 on something and then somehow sharing the spoils with my YouTube audience as a promotional thing, but my son tells me it's too hard to do. Fair enough. Do you think the new iPhone cameras are good enough to replace DSLRs? No. Will Liam Lawson made Kiwis proud? I don't know. Let's wait and see after the first few races. I don't know what any of these guys are like. I know what they're like as people. I don't know what they're like behind the wheel. And remember, it's so close. They're only this much apart. So you could be in 10th, starting 10th, but you're only that far behind the bloke in 6th. Is general admission in the Miami Grand Prix worth it? I don't know. I don't know where that allows you to stand. Ever flown British Airways? Yeah, a few times. Oh, right. So let me give you a quick tour here. This is the foyer of the Westin Hotel. That's a mechanic for Mercedes. Very few people out here at the moment. I'm standing behind the microphone, so it might not be great audio. But that's the Westin. Nice hotel. And they have a piano over here, which I imagine is locked. I think it's actually an electric piano. Yeah, look at that. That's definitely locked. Right, a couple of minutes to go. I'll take 2 more questions. Can't play that because it's locked. This is where I've been sitting here for 2 hours, answering questions from you. I don't think there's any drivers here. Nice coater would be epic. It won't disappoint. Who are some of your favourite former drivers? I get on well with Mark Webber, and I get on well with Jos Verstappen as well. I know he's not liked by a lot of people, but never done anything wrong by me. And final question, I'll pick something good. Fire them off, people. I want something interesting here. Public interviews. I'll end on this one. What I want to do, and I've seen this before, is somebody set up a microphone in a city, and then they have a camera trained on that person, and people just come up and talk to that microphone. I would love to do that. I don't know where I'd do it, how I'd do it, because I'd need a mic stand and I wouldn't have one. But I think that would be very interesting content. And just before I go, this is what their money looks like. It's colourful. It's not plastic like our money. And this one here is a 1 dinar note. That's worth 4 Australian, which is about $2.50 US. And they also have a half a dinar note. And when they price stuff, they do it to 3 decimal points. So for instance, this bill here, well, it's 4 dinar, but it could be 3.463. And I don't think I've ever seen a currency that, there's Steve-O there from Mercedes. I don't think I've ever seen a currency where they break it down into 999, or well, 1,000. Anyway, thank you very much for your attention, people, and I'll remind you, as I always do, that you ought to stay passionate.